What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, I'm going to go over a couple builds for the USN Battleships in the new 0.6 patch. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of confused on what to go with. Now, I'm going to make a few builds in this video, and you guys can pick whatever one kind of works with your playstyle. Now, this first one is going to be what I'm actually running on my Montana right now with a 19-point captain, and it just fits my playstyle. So I'm going to not perfectly fit it, but I'll kind of go over this, and I'll go over a couple of the builds after. So with my Montana, this is what I'm running right now. Um, a lot of like on my cruisers and destroyers, I'm running priority target. I like to know that. I'm a big battleship, so I'm kind of aware of how many things are going to be focused on me. I assume a lot. So I went with directional center for catapult aircraft. I really enjoy this. It helps a lot with helping with CV planes and just not only so much helping with CV planes, but really helping spotting destroyers. So it kind of keeps that whole 360 the view around you, mainly for torpedoes and maybe popping that eventual DD that gets a little too aggressive on a roundabout of the plane. So, but mainly to help with spotting torpedoes and extra stuff like that. So, I mean, preventive maintenance is all right. Priority target, I don't think it's quite needed on a battleship, so catapult is what I went with. Now, this is a 19-point captain, so I was able to go back and grab a couple things, but I'm really liking Adrenaline Rush. Now, if you are kind of an aggressive battleship, you're gonna get a lot more from this. But I'm really liking it as just as the game goes, you're gonna get burnt down at some point, and Adrenaline Rush is just gonna slowly get better and better. So I'm thinking Adrenaline Rush is my number two for almost all my battleships right now. It seems to be working. You're not gonna notice a massive impact from it, but you're definitely pumping out more damage, especially with big Montana guns. You want to pump out as many as fast as possible. Now you could instead go with High Alert for a little bit faster repair, but I'm actually liking Adrenaline Rush right now. I'm liking this a lot. My first 3-point skill is the Vigilance. Vigilance, I want to avoid as many torpedoes as possible. So I am liking this, especially in as big of a ship as possible. Now, if I was going with maybe like a smaller battleship, maybe lower tiers, I might go with something else. But Vigilance right now, I'm liking it, especially with those long-range torpedoes that are really hard to see. And working that with the spotter plane, with the catapult plane, is kind of nice. Now, my first 4-point skill is Concealment Expert. Now, you can get this at 10 points. I really enjoy this. I run a stealth build on almost all of my battleships. And this is going to be kind of the trade-off for another skill. But I run Concealment Expert, and then I run AFT. Now, Concealment Expert will get my Montana down to relatively low, 13.4 kilometers. You may seem like that doesn't seem like a lot, but you would be absolutely amazed how many times I go dark, and I can actually get away from fights. I mean, within a reload time, I can actually go dark before I take my next shot. So not only does that help me avoid damage, it helps me actually get it so they don't know where I am for a little while, and then they give me a bit better broadside. So I run Concealment Expert on a lot of my battleships. I run it on my Yamato, I run it on my NorCal, I run it on a lot of ships, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Now, if you don't take Concealment Expert, this is something where you could grab Fire Prevention. Since you are going to be spotted more, you're going to be taking more shells. So this could be the trade-off right there. I also took AFT. I just like that for AA. Montana AA is awesome. It's just such a big ship that you want to protect yourself as much as possible. And then I went back with the 5 extra points. So this right here is a 14-point captain, so I had 5 points left over. Went back and grabbed basic survivability. I think this is really good for as big of a ship this is, how many shots you're going to be taking. I think basic survivability is awesome. And High Alert. Now, you could end up dropping both of these, picking up Fire Prevention and something else, but this is what I'm feeling is going to be my best loadout. Now you can see I have skipped over Superintendent. I know this is kind of a risk for me. I've thought, hey, I'm gonna miss out on a heal. That's basically all I'm losing. There's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to even use 8 spotter planes, 8 fighter planes. So I'm basically giving up a heal, but I'm hoping that I can make up for it with Concealment Expert and doubling these up. So, and hopefully avoiding more torpedoes with doubling that. So this is my current build right now. It seems to be working pretty well. I like it. I'm a stealthy build that can hopefully repair fast if I do end up taking any damage. But you could then switch over this. So let's dive into some other builds, and I'll show you what might work for you guys. So here we are, guys, on shipcomrade.com using the Captain Point Calculator. If you guys have never used this tool, it's a really awesome tool, and I'll put a link down below. You guys can check it out. It's really easy to make some cool builds and kind of play around with some points and see how many points you have and how many points you have left. This is probably the second build I would run. Basically, all I've done is switch out Concealment for Fire Prevention and Vigilance for Superintendent. So what this build's basically doing is saying, hey, I'm not going to be as stealthy, so I'm going to take more shots, aka I'm going to take more fires. And so picking up fire prevention, you're going to pick up that extra heal, which is kind of nice, and then you're basically going to stick almost everything the same. Now, probably the third build I would run on, this is a little bit more, I know I'm going to take more damage, so I'm just going to prepare for it. But if I maybe wanted to run like like a AA build, I'd probably switch up for something like this. Keep high alert for that, and then I would run basic firing training, AFT, and manual AA. That would be a disgustingly good AA build on USN Battleships. They have really, really good AA, basically starting from tier 8 and up. I mean, the AA is decent on the low end, but the really high tiers are just absolutely disgustingly good. So this is probably a really good AA build I would run if you wanted to run that. I don't think I'd ever take RPF on a USN battleship. Also, manual secondary control. I mean, the secondaries aren't bad on USN, but it's not the same distance as what you're really wanting on that. You know, the German, the Bismarck, you're at 10.6 kilometers. That's when you start hitting things. It's just not as good on the USN battleships, and the higher tier you get, you tend not to be that close. So I wouldn't really want a secondary build. But I mean, I could easily see a pseudo AA build like this. I mean, this would just absolutely tear down planes. So those would be the 3 builds I would run, guys. You got one that's a bit for stealthy, one that is a bit for kind of damage prevention, and then you got this for running anti-aircraft. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if I missed any kind of builds, or you guys are kind of running some interesting builds. I'd love to know in the comments below. And guys, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.